Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's new comic book day. Right? It is. Yes, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, because we're launching a Kickstarter at Metal Ninja tomorrow, which I'm going to tell you all about real quick before I bring out the talented people that you all tuned in to listen to. So just give me one moment. I promise. It'll be quick. It'll be easy. It'll be painless. And I'm going to bring out all these cool guys with a cool comic to talk. All right. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST, all right, early, we are launching at Metal Ninja Studios the Dust County Chronicles Anniversary Edition, celebrating 5 years of Metal Ninja, 5 years of Dust County Chronicles. The lettering's being redone, updated art production. These pages look really, really cool. Joel Rodriguez, my boss, creator of Dust County, did some really, really cool stuff. I'm going to put a link in the chat, mnskickstarter.com. You guys go there. It'll get you to the Kickstarter page. If you want to follow it, like, that would be awesome. We're actually already a little over 60 followers. We already set like a Metal Ninja record, but we really want this to be a cool launch. We've got a really cool time capsule horror one shot for you guys. And there's a very, very cool edition that is kind of our Kickstarter Make 100. It's like a time capsule edition. It comes with a really cool map. You guys got to check the page out tomorrow. You got to see it to believe it. It's a beautiful comic. Check it out. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. And speaking of not being disappointed in scary comics, what a great segue. God, I'm such a good host. Guys, I've got some amazing people in the chat. I know a lot of you probably, I know we got a lot of the same mutuals. A lot of you probably know them. A lot of you probably know this comic from Red 5. It's called Dead Kingdom. I got the whole crew here. They're all here. I've got artist Kurt Belcher drinking a beer, but he put it away just when I brought that up. I've got Letterer Supreme, Ringo nominated Jérôme Gagnon, and I've got, I'm going to fuck his name up. I know it. Etienne Derepentigny. Did it wrong. I got too excited and I did it wrong.
No, it was good. It was good. It was good.
But all of these guys are so much better than my pronunciation, and they have such a cool book. Like, for real, Dead Kingdom. I think most of the press read it. You guys did such a good job pushing that out when it premiered. I remember, like, Jerome and Etienne, you guys had it at cons. You had like the prelude, unofficial, like, extra intro that like wasn't in the comic originally, but made it into the trade, right?
Yeah,
that's all connected now. But very smart marketing from you guys, just and very much like, just will not, like, you guys very much came out, you're like, we know we have a good comic and we're not going to shut up till you read it. And then people started reading it, and now here you are, eight issues into, or you know, 8 issues of going into volume 2, right? So we got 4. Okay, I can't count. I swear to God, we got 5 issues. 5 issues are out.
Yeah.
One is coming out in our start of the new arc is coming out next week or two, or hopefully
next week. There's
maybe
been a little bit of delay.
There's a delay.
The first issue.
Okay,
but should be coming out at the end of the month, we hope.
Okay.
So that the first volume was 5 issues. Now we're going straight up to the volume 2. It'll be a 4-issue run.
Okay.
And as of maybe 20 minutes ago, I just finished drawing the last page of volume 3.
Wow.
So it's coming up nicely. We are having fun.
How many, if you get to do whatever you want?
Don't jinx it.
Well, how long are you thinking of, like, do you have a plan? Is this a 15 issue maxi, 20 issue, or you're like, Blake, we'll go 100 if someone lets us, like, this is Walking Dead.
My way, it would be 5 volume.
Okay.
And I would like to do volume 3 would be a 4 issue. Volume 4 should be another 4 issue. If I could do it for volume 5, it would be 5 issue with a double size final.
Okay. Nice. Kurt, you ready for that? You got time for that?
Oh yeah,
Get all that done.
I've got time for anything they want me to do. I didn't actually do anything on this book. They just put me on the cover out of pity. They were like, "I'll throw this guy a bone, get him on the cover, make him feel good about himself."
Nice. That's how I landed my comic book editorial gigs. Is basically like Blake wrote a lot of Kickstarter updates for him. We'll throw him a fucking bone. So, hey, you can't take that accreditation away from me. I'm printed in a book somewhere. So that's fine. No, that's I'm glad. I'm glad that this is a big story. I said this when I way back when I got to read number 1. One of the things I told everybody that I was so excited about was just like, I'm burned out on zombie narratives, right? And
there's been a lot. Yeah.
It's too much. It happened for a while with like vampires, and now we're getting like a vampire resurgence, and there's like some fresh new stuff. But guess what? Now we're coming up on the same problem. Now everybody's like, "Ooh, I got a new fresh vampire idea." So we're getting more, we're almost being oversaturated with that again. But you guys came in a really smart time where like no one wants to touch zombie narratives really anymore, because it's just like, I don't like. Do we have ideas? I don't know. Are they strong enough? Like, especially in comics and indie comics. And you all came out with a really strong, fresh, like historical medieval pitch with like some magic and creepiness and cultiness and like just like sword, like good old sword and sorcery mixed with a little zombie. Like, did you guys know? Or like, did all of you when you like heard the pitch or read the script? Were you guys like, yep, okay, like, I can't believe no one figured this out before we did, but we're like, this is it. This is gold. We got it.
Well, the original pitch wasn't set up in medieval times, so, but Etienne was saying the oversaturation of zombie books coming up, and he had the bright idea to switch it in different times. So, and it made it way better, I think.
So that was a on the fly transition.
Yeah, at first I was like laying out the story, and each time I was, thinking of the story going forward and writing, it was like, okay, that sounds too much like the Walking Dead, or that sounds too much like Resident Evil, and I was, if I go forward with that idea, it's not going to be original. So one day I saw a cinematic for, I think it was for the Souls game. It was for Demon Souls, I think, and I felt I just liked it so much, the way it was represented, and I'm a big fan of all the 80s movie like Excalibur, and I said to myself, if I switch science for magic and guns for swords, all my problems about being compared to all those other series will be erased in a way. So what I did is I changed the settings, and pretty much everything fell into place. All the little things I didn't know what to write, or okay, that's not going to be connected to that. Everything fixed themselves up when I decided to change the modern time for medieval time. Mm-hmm. And what's so fun, and I know I'm a big fan of Walking Dead also. I'm a big fan of that. But for me, the zombies my love for zombies is always for the George Romero movies. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Those are my favorites. And I remember watching Dawn of the Dead, and the way the differences for the human and zombies, like cheap blue makeup on them. And that's why in my series, the zombies are like green. I wanted to pay homage to all those old zombie movies in a way. So
nice. They're very green. They're very green.
Yeah, they're very green.
You guys tear a lot of faces off of people too. And it doesn't get old. I like.
Oh, you know this? Yeah.
I'm like, oh, another face gets torn off and looks real cool on the page, and I am not mad about it. Like I found myself like grotesquely being excited about like like sometimes it's like real pretty people, sometimes it's random people. It's like nobody's face is safe in this narrative.
That's a fun
Blake's over there keeping a running tally in a notebook. Like that's another face getting turned off there.
Yeah, but that's a fun thing with zombies. I mean, you don't care about that.
You got to have that cannon fodder in there for the zombies to just do whatever they want to with them.
Is it hard when you guys are building like you're building this world, right? Because you're taking known history, but you're infesting it with zombies and dark magics, right? And these like evil dark priests, which I cannot wait to find out. Like I really am stoked for like the upcoming. I know it's going to happen eventually. Like the where it's like the heroes aren't in much of it, and like we're going to see like we're gonna have like a big moment with them and learn more about it. Or maybe. We got to learn something eventually, and I'm just excited to know, like I want to know like what they're doing, what these little shards are, what they're like excavating. You know, and
you're gonna love issue 3 of
nice,
volume 2.
Nice.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But what's so fun about my collaboration with Kurt is each time I'm done with a script and I'm to a point like we're going to do the lettering with Jérôme, I send him the script and he has that magnificently awesome way to put the magic touch on the script. I call that the cherry or the fairy powder in a way. It's weird because you know exactly what's missing in it. You know those yeah, exactly.
Very
exactly
big,
what
very
I love how all these grown like older men all know like we know that like. Sorry to interrupt.
For me, I mean, I take what Etienne has written and I try to, I take a look at what the lettering is going to look like, how much space is going to be used by the lettering and stuff like that. And I try to condense it down into something that, you know, the meaning of it, even if it changes the wording slightly and takes out some words. I try to condense it down to something that's going to fit there, but still mean the same thing.
Jerome, do they do a good job, or do they make your life living hell?
No.
Who's harder to work with?
No, everything's rolling really smoothly. I mean,
good.
Etienne leaves lots of enough space for full lettering. That's no issue, and like Kurt just said, he tries to condense it as much as possible. So no, everything runs very smooth.
Yeah, Etienne has been in a real zone with this book, you know, writing and drawing this book. I mean, he's like I don't know how he's doing it. He's turning out pages so fast.
Wow.
I work with great people, you know.
Aww. Look at the death and wanton destruction bringing all you fine fellas together. That's the beauty of comics right there.
I mean, the thing I liked about the book, maybe even before I was involved with it, before you guys asked me to, you know, work on it with you, was the fact that it was a medieval setting with zombies. And I remember, you remember the movie Army of Darkness, the third Evil Dead movie? I think we talked about this before. Originally, they were going to call it The Medieval Dead.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was like a working title for it or something. And that was when I heard about this idea, that was what ran through my head was Medieval Dead. And I just love that idea. And I love taking it back, like you said, taking it back to magic and not having it be a scientific thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what the original zombies were. You know, it was all like voodoo and magical stuff and that kind of thing, horror rather than like science fiction.
You know what I like about the time period you're into is like a lot of so most modern zombies is very much like spectacle and like the spectacle of survival. But other like before that, like in a lot of modern zombie tales, like there was always that focus on the cure. You know, it was like we gotta find the doctors. When we get the doctors, they'll get the spinny things. We'll get the spinny things and the penicillin and the medicine, and they'll fix this. They'll fix the world. You know, and then you know what I love about your guys' book, that they don't have the spinny things. The doctors don't know shit. Those evil priests are way smarter than any doctors that are running around these parts, right? But there's no cure. And they know, everybody knows that. They're like, well, the world's fucked.
Spoiler. I'm gonna spoil the end for you.
Okay.
It's just that they haven't figured out yet that they should wash their hands.
Oh shit!
That's just it, man.
This is like COVID negative 27.
Sorry, Etienne. There's no need to do any more of the book.
No, it's okay. Let's cancel it.
Wrapped it up on Blake.
Like you said, it's so far away in time that they have to learn everything at that time. So yeah, they don't.
What are the challenges? Like from all of you, like Kurt, is it, how like your art, like is it easy to travel back in time with this, and or like, you know, like, did it take you a minute to kind of orient like yourself, like with like medieval weapons and because like you said, like there's so many like there's like big cars and like running things over and shotguns and and like they didn't even, I mean, I guess they had like they have the crossbows, like that crossbows is like modernized zombie killing, right? But like do you guys have to like rethink action scenes kind of, and is it harder to choreograph all that since it's a little more like when you kill somebody with a sword or a blade, it's a little more intimate, it's a little more up close and personal. You got to try a little harder, and you guys, these people, everybody tries really hard to kill everybody in these books, and they do a good job. And but it looks good on the page. But I kind of wondered that if it presents challenges, or does the juxtaposition of like modernization and the past and history, does it kind of like, does it give you guys more ideas? Does it like spark new ways to murder?
Well, that's a good question. The thing is when you have to inspire yourself about what's already being, once a fight, it's swords. It's pretty much swords, like you said, in arrows. So the thing is, you have no guns. So what you're gonna do, you have to fight them up close and personal. But if you don't know how to kill one of those things, it's pretty much the battle's pretty much over from that. So that's what you see in the first volume. There's a big fight sequence, and you see that the army of soldiers trying to fight the army of the dead, and they get decimated like from the start, because you try to like fight them, you'd like to cut them the arms off of their legs, or you try to impale them, but they're still coming back. So as their series go forward, they know this, okay, but it's like the old way, you have to destroy the head. So but what you gotta say, there's still so much challenge, because like you said, no gun. That was the fun factor of writing it. It's like, okay, there's no gun, you cannot fight them from far, but still you got arrows, you got swords. So that's why it's making them so much more horror in it, because you have to be in their face. It's more personal. It's more, and I've always said the zombie for me is the worst kind of evil, because it could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your mother, and there's no reason with them. It's the pure killing machine that may have your loved one face, and you have to kill them or you're dead also. So that's the fun part. It's like, what you gonna do? I got a knife, I got a sword, and I don't know how to kill them. There's no internet in the medieval time when you can Google how to kill a zombie.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And suppose 3 village over this. Hey, we know how to kill them. Okay, how the hell are we gonna tell them?
Right. Yeah.
3 days of walk. How to kill a zombie.
You guys, you also lost that apocalyptic plot point too, where you're like, the mysterious radio signal, like we've never seen that, but you guys can't even do that. Like it's like when people make modern horror movies, but set it back a little bit, so like no one can have cell phones, because like cell phones can ruin like any plot of a movie if you think about it hard enough. Like, so
you know what we didn't thought about? Instead of the radio signal, we could use pigeons.
Ooh.
Message to other village.
And Dead Kingdom Volume 1, Director Scott will put pigeon.
Yeah, there'll be pigeons. You'll need to come up with like a new script for the pigeon letter type, Jerome.
But it's they didn't tell the real challenge for him was to draw horses.
Oh God.
I was just going to say, I mean, the challenges that you have with drawing a story set in the modern day is that you have to do a lot of research for reference, cars, buildings, blah, 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 clothing and all that. But back in time, it's the same level of reference that you have to get.
Yeah.
But it's horses, it's weapons, it's old medieval buildings, it's clothing, armor, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's like the same level, but a different kind of challenge.
What was the most challenging? Like, what was like the element to you that you were like, if I never draw a fucking sword again, guys, like what was it like? Was it a sword? Like never again?
No, it's horses. I remember starting the comic book, and I wrote to Jérôme and I said, I never draw a horse before. And he said, seriously? I said, yeah. And there's a lot of horses in that series.
Yeah, and we're all dead in that universe.
The first week I started to work, I think I bought 4 art book from The Witcher, Demon Soul, Dragon Age. I brought all those art books just as references because I didn't know how to draw like a tavern. How do
Oh yeah,
how do you draw a tavern from medieval time when you never draw that before?
that's
That
cool.
was a big challenge.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't feel. You make it feel effortless. Like it looks very
Thank you.
like smooth and organic and like natural. It definitely doesn't look like we had this zombie book idea and then like changed it like right. Like that's shocking to me too that you guys were able to pivot so well. And then it really ended up I think working for the book and for all of you, right? Like it seemed like people were into it at the cons you've gone to, and Red 5 seems to be really into it and giving you guys more and more issues, which is always a good
That's
feeling.
awesome.
Jerome, what do you as a letterer, like what did you do different like going into this? Because I'm looking, I mean, oh my god, Holiday Spirits, that's you did some cool stuff in that just because of all the different content and stories and creators you worked with, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't do a lot of like old time like historic and you don't want to like clone old English because that's not going to be fun to read for 23 pages or whatever at a time, right? So like, but you were able to like kind of capture like the brutality and the time period in the typeface that you used. I thought it was really smart.
Cool, thanks. Well, that's just it. I mean, I tried. First of all, I try as best as I can to match the Etienne's art style with the type of font I'm using and type of the style of the balloons and all that stuff. And then, well, yeah, there's like those captions that we want to make them look a little bit medieval or to fit the time frame. Yeah.
The thing I liked about what Jérôme did, it once I was like, that's fun because sometimes I do some pages and I said it to him. And he's also a great graphic designer. So once he said to me, when you see the bad guy, make sure you should put the borders all black, no white between panels. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try. And it was like, God, he's right. That's awesome. And
you stuck with that too, because every time they're
awesome.
very dark. Every scene they're in, like it's like, especially on a tablet when the colors are a little more saturated. Like it's just like those scenes is like when your thumb swipes, it's like you just like fall into the darkness and you're like, oh shit, like it's almost it's like jarring in a good way.
Yeah, and it causes a break. You're somewhere else. In different place entirely. So.
And just for the thing Jérôme did, and you didn't see it yet, but there's a page, I think it's in issue 2 or I think it's issue 2. I think, yeah. There's a panel I had something in mind when I draw the panels, and I didn't say anything to Jérôme about it. I just sent him the page. And when he did the lettering for that page, it was so much better than what I had in mind. It was incredible. I can't wait for other people to see what he did for that page. But it's incredible. From a lettering standpoint, it eclipsed my art. It's so great.
Wow. High praise. I mean, Jerome makes pages better. Yeah. I've known that for a long time. But I mean, yeah, I think all you guys are doing a real solid job on this book. And real quick, because I am the worst host, but hey, I stay on brand. I've not said hi to anybody in the chat. I apologize. We're only 24 minutes in. I'm doing all right. We got Ronan coming from across the world in Australia. What's up, dude? John Westhoff's in the house. By the way, John has Drumsticks of Doom live on Kickstarter right now. You guys should all check that out. Yeah. Ian Mondrick's in the house. What's up, dude? I was kind of shocked too. I didn't know. I was like, oh, it is. That is what Kurt sounds like. And we got K-pop. What's up, K-pop? K-pop's got a very cool show. Check out her YouTube channel. She's always doing crazy stuff. And a very, very pop in chat, very hard to keep up with. They would not like me if I was the host of that show. They all would just talk, and I'd be like, too bad. Okay, like, I'd be like, let's talk comics. Anyway, I've done one show, guys, where like the chat went off the rails, and it was like there was like 120 people in the chat, and I was trying to say hi to people, and the people were fine. They were like, Blake, they're all the animators from the movie. Like you don't have to say hi to all of them. And I was like, oh, all right, sweet, because there's way too many people. Like,
going by like a news sticker is just.
I know. I was like, hi. Oh God! I was like, and it was just like, I was like,
was it the Bendis episode?
Huh?
Was it the Bendis episode?
No, no. Bendis wasn't live. Yeah. So this was the cat, the cat comic. I can't think of the name, and they had the animation come out. I'm a great host, everybody. I remember all my guests, know everybody's names. Hey, I may forget some things, but I will read your fucking books before you come on. So I at least do that part right.
You're always prepared, that's for sure.
And I have good, as Etienne reminded me, he was like, Blake, you've got some nice audio stuff. And I was like, yes, I do. I've got some. I'm actually really stoked. Nobody knows this yet, but my new setup, I can connect a battery pack to it and like throw it in my backpack and use my Rode wireless mics and have a mobile podcast studio. So like, I'm really excited. I really hope Planet gives me press again in March so I can like do better live interviews. And also I can't wait to just like be like, oh yeah, like do another interview with Jimmy Palmiani, like at the end of the night when he's tired and can't talk and he's all hoarse and shit, and be like, you up for an interview, Jimmy? He'll be like, yeah, come on, Blake. I'll like sit down and like pull out this like mixing board and shit, and he'll be like, what are you doing, dude? I'm like, but I'm pretty stoked. But yeah, it's cool. I bought like a little battery pack. You can take it anywhere, and pretty easy. It makes noise, and you know. I'll do all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, I'm
awesome.
I liked the one thing I've done, like since I got press at that con last year. I just wanted to do more cons, and like unfortunately, like traveling is not cheap. And then when you when you go, like even if you can't afford to travel, like everything's ramped up, like hotels and stuff, like like by the place, right? Because they know they're like, we're about to make money off of these nerds, like. Like you want to have these hotel after parties and these you know, what are they, these like furry get downs or whatever they do after hours at cons, you know. Like I didn't do that part. I had my dad's retired, so my dad was my Uber, so I paid him money to like drop me off and pick me up, and so like, but I was also like open to close, and so I really wasn't like, let's go party. I was like, I want to go home.
Yeah,
my feet hurt. I'm tired.
The after parties when
yeah, and it which is funny because then when it's over, you're like totally exhausted, right? And then you're like, I already miss it. You're like, oh, I should have went out Saturday night. You're like, oh, you know, like,
I feel that I may be wrong, but I feel that having that kind of energy to do the after parties and the fun stuff after,
yeah,
I think it's easier when you're abroad, because when you're in your own town, damn, I'm tired. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
It's different.
And yeah, I feel so, because
so you were fucking raging when you came and met, because you've done a few cons like over the last year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which one did you meet Travis at?
When you're staying outside, you don't want to stay to spend the whole evening alone in your hotel room. I mean, that's just so boring.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm here. Okay, what can I do? So you get that little energy boost that.
It's weird because each year we're doing cons, Jérôme and I, and we say, hey, this first Saturday we should go out and take a cold beer. And the same day, we're like, I just want to go home and sleep.
You know, there's also that element of FOMO, you know, if you're missing out.
Oh, yeah.
Not wanting to be there if something cool happens, you know, or some really nice people come in that you really want to talk to, pick their brains and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I still regret Maria Wolf. Like we had a cool interview at the con, but Maria was like, do you want to she was like, do you want to go out after? We could do like an interview at a bar or something. And I was like so tired. And I was like, I was like, maybe. And then I bailed and I was like, man, like a fucking hotshot cover artist like invited you to go hang out. And you were like, I'm going to call my dad and have him come pick me up. I was like, you're a fucking dork, Blake. I can't believe I just told that story live on air. That's embarrassing. No,
Yeah.
I just ruined all my nerd cred. Like, I'm going to remember that forever. People are going to be like, remember that time Maria Wolf asked you to hang out? And you were like, you call my dad.
But now, Blake, aside from us, what's your bucket list like of person you would like to interview?
Oh my God.
Filling up that bucket list each day, man.
Dude, it's getting stupid. It's like I'm getting I'm getting lucky. I'm getting lucky. No, I would love to talk to Tom King.
You know you can get Stanley, right?
Yeah. Well, not yet. I've been in talks to my own Dark Lords, gentlemen. Like, this is how the zombie, like everybody keeps saying, like, oh, like Chat GPT, all this AI stuff. This is how Skynet's taken over. No, the zombies are going to take over because I'm going to bring Stan Lee back from the dead for an interview. Can we do a comic book about that? Is that illegal?
We can do a comic book about anything.
I feel like, yeah, or we could call it a zine. We don't have the rights for any of this. It's a zine. It's fun. Like,
let's do a blog.
Yeah. Put it on Substack. No one will care. You can put anything up there. Anyway, but no, that's anyways, yeah. Tom King is a big one. Yeah, like Alex Ross, Alex Ross was one of the reasons why I got back into comics when I was in college. When I was like, for a while, I was never like, I started like, I got in a band, right? And then like being in a band was a lot cooler than like reading comics and playing video games, right? So like I got into music for a while, and it wasn't until later in college I started getting back into when I was getting my BA and started writing again and stuff. I got back into I got back into comics, and I got back into it because my buddy, another guy named Blake, this guy Blake Bixby, he was like showing me this art from Alex Ross, and he was reading Justice. And he was like, dude, like this is like the coolest book, you should read it. And then I found out about Kingdom Come and I was like, oh my God, I remember how awesome comics were. And that was it. Then like now I'm in tons of debt and I do all this shit now. And like that's why. So like I this guy Blake Bixby and Alex Ross, like, and David Pepose, like I've interviewed David Pepose, but I owe him because he kind of like, he was like, Blake, you should start writing again. And I was like, I should start writing again, David. It was crazy. Like during an interview. So anyway, but yeah, Tom King's a big one. Bendis, I still can't believe I got Bendis. That was a great episode. That was insane. That was not only that,
guy, huh? He's such a great guy, man.
Dude, he's so the nicest guy. Like you wouldn't even think he was like crazy famous. You know, like I mean, he's like comic book famous. Where like not a lot of them, but like some non-comic book fans would be like, oh, that I know that guy. Like that's, you know, like, or that his name. Like, but yeah, that was cool. And he like hung out for like an hour, like over an hour. And I was just like, you know, so many, I've gotten some bigger names lately. Right. But they're like the press person is like in the back, like in the green room and like telling you in the comments, like, okay, one more question. You get like 15 minutes. That's it. You know? And it's like, and so yeah, like Bendis was just like, yeah, like my kids are downstairs.
Did I told you about the time that I've met him last
No.
year?
Where'd you meet him?
That was so weird. Well, Travis introduced me to him at that evening party after right before the ring goes.
Whoa!
So we shook hands, but he went away, and like I was just petrified. I didn't know what to say to him, and I was like, oh my God, that was so out of the blue. What just happened? But I saw him at the airport the day right after I was waiting for my flight, and actually it was we were between planes in Atlanta, and I saw him. I say, okay, that's too late. I just missed him again. So see, if I see him again, I'm gonna go up and talk to him. So I go up, I see him, I go up, introduce myself. I say, we've met very briefly last night. I'm big fan, was nominated, blah blah blah. I said, oh yeah, yeah, nice, cool. Very glad you had so much fun over there. The Ringos, yeah, congrats on the nomination, everything. Do you mind if we take a selfie? So just before, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'm sorry. After the selfie, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to leave you. I'm looking for my kids. His kids were running around, and even though his kids were running around somewhere in the airport, it took like 2 or 3 minutes to talk to me.
They're getting fucking abducted, and he's taking his
That was very short time. But that's a lot of time that anything can
That's
go
so
wrong
cool.
for those kids in that moment.
His kids are like in outer Mongolia now, and
Yeah,
he's still there talking to you in the airport.
Yeah, I saw him like a couple of minutes.
You can see
like a
his
minute after
priorities
with them,
now.
and everything was fine. So I was glad to be sure of that. But
Nice.
yeah, I mean, I was just amazed that he took the time to chat with me for a minute.
He's very very cool. So down. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of you guys are a lot of you guys are very very cool. A lot, I've noticed, like, no matter who I talk to, especially when they know when they're like, I know I run my mouth a lot, and I know I say some weird shit too, but like, I also know people have fun on my show. And so like once people realize, if they're not familiar with me and they're like, oh, okay, this is that kind of show. Like this is like, this isn't like a, like, how did you feel when you wrote panel 4 on page 5? And it's like, what was it like writing Spider-Man #1? Like, I'm not asking shit like that. And it's a little different. And so like, I'm pretty good at getting people to loosen up. But yeah, between that and when they're like, oh, he actually read my books, like everybody's pretty down to earth, and even the bigger guests are the good ones are very, very like just similar to you guys, which is crazy because they're just like, wow, I still can't believe people read my comics. And it's like, what? Like,
each day and when I wake up, I can believe it.
Yeah.
Same here.
It's a cool feeling. I work in comics now, and it's like every day I'm just like, hey, I'm very, very scared every day it's gonna be like swept out from under me, like someone's gonna pull the rug out, or I'm gonna wake up in like a Matrix pod like Neo, but I'm not gonna be the one. I'm just gonna be like this dude who wasn't supposed to wake up in that pod.
The third one.
Yeah. I'll just say there's the one, and then there's the guy, and I'm the guy, like
the dude.
The guy in the pod, like
you're like extra number 7 in the background. That's what I would be. I'd be extra number 7
zombie 37, right?
You would be the guy getting the face torn off.
I think I'm going to put you in one of my next volume, Blake, and you'll be a zombie.
I would be so stoked. That would be
You're
sweet.
going to be a zombie in one of my future issues. That's for sure.
Who's this wide boy just annihilating everybody?
And he speaks just before he turns completely zombie and said, I don't know what I have. I think I've got stung by a bee or something.
No, he's good. He's just going to yell, it's in the water. It's in the water.
Don't drink water. Whatever.
But
don't drink water. Drink whiskey though. Like it's better for you. Or if you do drink water, mix it with a little G Fuel. Hey, G Fuel, sure would love to be sponsored by you guys. Anyway, no, but for real, G Fuel helps me stay up late when I have to cram for episodes. Sure would be great for a sponsorship, guys. Anyway.
We have a special request in the chat from Cole.
Oh wait, we do. What's it like?
No, not that one. The next one.
Can I be next to Blake in the comic with a hot dog? Why would a zombie have a hot dog? Because they're cool. I mean, hey, if I knew I was gonna turn, the last thing I would do would not be to eat a hot dog. I don't know what I was going. Maybe you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'll go with you, Cole. Like,
apparently that is the last thing he would do.
Yeah, right before I go, I want a good greasy dog. Just before I switch to faces and brain and body parts,
like a piece of intestine or a finger on a bun instead of a hot dog.
Yeah, right. Except well, I don't know what you would have. I guess just flesh, but little cheeks.
I'm glad that
a variety
brought up the weird hot dog ravioli.
the weenie-oli,
Yeah.
the weenie, that Robert Venditti randomly messaged me about on Twitter and made a weenie-oli joke, and I was like, Robert Venditti knows about Blake's Buzz and weenie-olis. Like, I fucking made it. Like, everybody was like, "Oh, it's so cool, you got Bendis." I was like, yeah, but when Robert Venditti messaged about weenie-olis and knew a podcast joke, I was like, that's pretty cool, man. Like,
That's dope.
he did not know how to handle me. I thought he didn't like me at first. He was just kind of like, we were all drinking, me, him, and Brock. Like, we all had whiskeys. I had a few more than everybody. Brock was kind of drunk too. So Brock and I are kind of drunk. Robert's pretty reserved. Brock and I are mouthing off about shit going off, and Robert goes, "I just want everybody to know I have not said the F word once." I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "I'm sorry, man," and I was like, "Oh yeah, he is writing Superman kind of right now." There's maybe like the writer of Superman coming on being like, "Fuck." Oh, you know, like maybe that's not the image DC wants, but whatever. But no, at the end of the show, he was like, "Blake, I'd love to come back on sometime." I was like, "Oh, sweet," because I didn't know where we were going, man. He was like, "I've never done an interview like this." It's like, that was one of the best compliments I've ever got. It was and it was like a positive way that he said it, not like "I've never done an interview like this," you know, like, and I never will again. Slams his glove on the desk. Yeah.
Blake's over there like, he is never coming on my show again. What have I done?
I know. I've had a few of those. I've had a few of those moments. K-pop knows about it. She called it earlier. She was like, "You guys are going to start talking about hot dogs. It's going to go bananas." She gets it. We are actually all in a fucking hot dog. I'm new. They just invited me, but we're in a fucking hot dog group chat on Instagram. And we're like, why not? You know, like, it's what's one more Whisper network? I'm Comics Press, baby. We collect Whisper networks like old people collect coins and Werthers. That's what we do.
Hey, on Facebook, I'm in a crap wildlife photography group, chat group on there, so I don't judge.
I'm in so many groups. So this one dude the other day was like, "Why are you in so many group chats?" And I was like, "Well, like, I work remote, you know, like we all have to talk to each other like somehow." So there's all these different Discords and then Facebook chats and like Twitter messages. And then if you message too much on Twitter now, they yell at you and you can't send messages anymore. And then anyway, it's super fun.
What's your weirdest group you're part of?
Oh, the hot dog for sure. Everything else is semi-professional. Cole and I talk a lot of shit in our private chat in Discord, but that's just Cole and I. And also it's a lot of us sending each other shorts and pouting that more people don't watch them. But there's some spicy bits in there too, though. I promise, but you'll never see it because we'll get in trouble. But yeah, the hot dog one, and then other than that, yeah, it's just like people's Discords. Like Kevin Joseph from Tart has a cool Discord. I think all you guys are probably in Travis's Discord. He's got a good one with a lot of indie creators and stuff. That's always got good topics going. Speaking of, I saw him pop up. Jerome makes me like almost wish I was starting to go gray, man. I was like, he's like, rocking that salt and pepper, dude. Like,
it looks so
my wife was actually saying last night to somebody else that she wishes me to when I'll be in retirement that I do like Santa's Christmas gigs like each year.
Oh yeah,
that would work.
And I think I should probably be able to do it like in 2-3 years.
Yeah,
I'm getting there.
It's been even more impressive than that. I remember we were on a chat and I was like, "You've got like a wave in your beard. Your beard got so long." I was like, "It's acres and acres of beard in there," you know. So wow,
the rolling hills really of beard.
Yeah,
wow.
It's weird because if we could paste Kurt Russell's face in Santa Claus next to his face, it would look pretty similar.
Yeah.
And when you compare somebody to Kurt Russell, that's a compliment, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. He still looks good. I haven't watched the finale of Monarch on Apple.
It's very good.
That's good. That's good.
I really liked it. I was very much. I kind of shout out to Geek Network. Sorry, but I got COVID. I got on Apple's press list and I got to watch all the episodes early, and I got COVID in the holidays. And so I got to review about half of them for Geek Network. And it was kind of, I've never written really for somebody else, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm like writing for a blog and having fun. And yeah, then holidays and COVID and all sorts of shit. And then, but yeah, so now I still need to watch the last couple episodes, and it's very cool. I didn't realize this at first. I thought Matt Fraction was just an executive producer, but he was like a bigwig on that show, like in the producing, writing, storyboarding. Like he was very much like it. From what it's almost very sounded like, yeah, that's why he hasn't been doing comic shit for a while, is because he was like on set at a lot of locations too. So like that, traveling around the world with the crew doing this. So like I was like, oh, cool, like. Yeah, I'd love to make comics too, but like traveling around the world making a Godzilla movie sounds pretty fucking dope too. So I don't know,
Yeah.
But I mean, if you got to make a great, medieval zombie, comic that keeps getting renewed and more issues, and that's a pretty good way to be too. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to travel more.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I'm very happy with my situation right now. Okay, I do what I do, and it's not an easy. The comic industry is where we won't lie about it. It's hard sometimes, but the community is so awesome. It's making everything worthwhile.
How did you guys connect with Kurt? Because I meant to ask this earlier, but you guys were talking earlier because Kurt mentioned he came in. He came in after the switch when it went from like guns to swords and shields, right? So like how'd you guys connect with Kurt? What made you want to reach out to him? Let's sell us on Kurt, because I don't believe in him. I'm just kidding, Kurt. I love you, but I'm always curious as to like how the dream teams come together. I think it's good to know.
The thing it's pretty much all because of Jérôme. Jérôme, what's awesome, what's good about him is when he started working on comics, he had that. He started talking to a person in the industry, and his contact kept growing. And for my part, I just stayed in my little corner at my house crying, trying to do a comic. That's pretty much what I did. So once
Jérôme came down,
yeah, pretty much,
picked you up and took you.
He said,
more like,
wake
up, Etienne.
It still hurts. When it's
You can
cold,
see the hand mark on my face right there.
Yeah, right there. There's makeup, but it's still there. But he said to me, like, you should, give your stuff, show it to people, and you should read it. And sometimes, you should do some pinups, some short stories for people I'm working with, and that's pretty much how it started. And through that, I met Kurt, and Kurt, I think I drew one of his short story ones for the first Cthulhu fighting crossover. I think it was with the Wonderland story.
I think so. I think we also did one for Always Punch Nazis.
That was exactly. That was the first time we worked together.
The boys from Mexico. Yeah.
And I freaking fell in love with his script when I first did it, and I said to himself, I'm a French Canadian. I can write in English, but sometimes I would like a second opinion. So he said, yeah, and I sent him a script, and he always came back with the right question. He said, hey, Tim, that's a great setting, but that village, it doesn't have a name in the story. You should put a name on it. And I said, I don't know what name to call that village. And the next text he sent me was like 16 ideas for village name.
I try to give people options.
Hey, sometimes they need that, man. Sometimes you gotta. When I send pull quotes to people, I send like 5 or 6 pull quotes because I'll like sit there. I'll like write. The first one is usually kind of rough, and then I'll start writing. I'll start writing, and then like sometimes like one will be real long, and I'll turn it into 2, and then basically I'll send people like 5 or 6 pull quotes. I'll be like, you fucking pick one, and they're like, who does this? And I'm like, I do apparently. I don't know, man. Like,
do you remember the one you sent me? The first one you sent me?
I sent a little bit. I know I sent one.
You said zombie with axes. What's not to like?
That is true. That is true. That and the face removal, and the kind of adorable love story that I dig. That, you know, like it very much works. And I also very much like how you've built this like vigilante zombie slaying team. Also, like, you know, it very very comic booky, while just, you know, also standing tall, right? It's like, you know, yeah, like, yes, we're nodding to the great things that came before us, and we're, you know, we're picking up where some people left off, but you guys you're doing so much stuff that's like fresh and invigorating and wild, and I'm just, you know, and I think that's why, you know, people are obviously noticing, they're buying the book, and you guys keep getting to make more issues, you know, which is cool. And, you know, they're also doing this with Predator now. Like, they figured it out they had the Predator fight Native American Indians, and everybody was like, this is fucking amazing. And now there's those rumors that the next one is going to be like a Predator samurai, you know, and like, yeah, that formula, like, let's go. I'll do that all day, you know, and you guys, you know, who would have thought, you know, like, hey, let's try this with zombies. Like, but so I feel like so many people wouldn't, just because they're like, I'm not going to touch zombies, you know, like, it's, you know, I'm not fucking walking behind Robert Kirkman, you know, like, there's just so many people like, nope, you know, like, I'll do anything else. Like, you know, like, I'll write a mutated story about 4 amphibians, that, you know, that the, you know, four
Nobody's done that before.
4 geckos, right? Yeah, like, I'd rather do that than try and be like, Blake's zombie narrative was the breath of fresh air that the genre needed. Which, if you read most of the reviews, they don't cookie cutter say that, but the vibe is that you guys have breathed life into this genre that like really needed it. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but since you guys keep putting out new issues, there's like 8 new Walking Dead series. So, I mean, like, somebody's making money off of this resurgence that you're bringing back. Like, you guys need to tap in on that. By the way, shout out to 3 Good Nerds. They're all in here talking about Kurt Russell and some weird shit. You guys I'm glad you're having a good time. Crudo, what's up, baby? Always happy to have you guys in the chat. But yeah, like, how's that feel, guys, to take like an iconic genre and a lot of, like, you know, a lot of cliched storytelling and turn it on its head and just kind of impress the shit out of all of us. Like, how are your necks hurt? Do they hurt from like the weight, the gold crowns? Are your legs tired when you climb up there on that high tower? And look down at us all?
That's a good question, but I think it's a good question for Jérôme too, because just what he did with Holiday Spirit, it's almost the same thing. You take an old concept of serial, you know, short stories like Tales from the Crypt, and you know, a genre that you didn't read for a while now, and you took the concept of Christmas and put it with all those horror themes, and, you know,
just that idea of like holidays horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like you get with Friday the 13th and Halloween, and, you know, Christmas Eve and all that kind of stuff.
For me, when he pitched it for me, I was like, man, that's freaking fresh, man. That's awesome, you know. And it's a little bit, it's our love for all those old school, you know, horror things that we love. And I like old Nights movie. I like old zombie movies. You know, it's the same principle. It's like, if you have love for that idea, you'll find a way to make it fresh. That's it. You know, it's zombies. Zombies are not the most important thing in the book. The character in that situation are. And I love superhero. That's why Kane in the comic is that kind of guy. You inspire other characters to do the right thing. I want to incorporate that righteousness and you know, that hero mentality, but in the situation where everybody's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the Captain America figure.
Yeah.
He's so Captain America. And there's a I won't say too much, but there's a moment when he's being Captain America, and there's a lady, and she's like, she's like, oh my god, like she's like, I never heard him talk like that, and I was like, I'm fucking turned on too, like damn, like this dude gets it, like I'm like I'll fucking pick up a sword, I'll go out, like I'll die real quick, but I'll fucking go out there with you, bud. Like, but he's very charismatic, and he's got a cool story, and he and like I said, like the way he's brought this really cool group together, who also are individually, even though we've only got little snippets with them, right? You guys are very efficient with the time you've given to the side characters, to where like you've given everybody just enough time where it's like, I know someone's gonna die, but like everybody feels kind of important, so I don't know who yet, you know, and so like we're kind of scared. I don't want to lose anybody, but like, we're gonna lose somebody, and you know, and there's like relationships budding like within the group, and you know, it's just like I want to follow these people till the end, and I want to see them fight, and I want to know what these priests are. There's so many great elements you guys have sprinkled into this narrative to like really encourage people to follow you, to put it on the polls, to pre-order these books, to pick up the trade. If y'all haven't read it, you're missing out on some really solid comic booking. Like just for real, it's every page is really nice to look at. The colors are great. It's moody. It's violent. It's got strong dialogue. It's got cool characters. You know, it's not, you know, you think you know what a sword or an axe could do to a zombie, but guess what? These guys will surprise you. They're finding new things for these weapons to do to zombies, and it's cool. And like I said, the big mystery, the big spectacle. There's a lot of strong elements going on. Now, how did Etienne? How do you and Jerome? You guys have known each other for a long time, right?
At least 15 years now.
Damn. Okay, I knew you guys were new for a while, but so you both live? Are you both Canadians?
I was his boss at some point.
Yes, he was.
Whoa,
that's how we met.
Nice. Like at what kind of boss? Like a graphic design studio thing, or would you guys have like a different kind of job?
Yeah, I'm working in the magazine business.
Okay.
So yeah, art director over there, and Etienne was one of the graphic designer working for us. So
nice. And you guys are still friends. I haven't met many where I was like,
crazy, right?
Survive working together.
Yeah, like
it's weird because each Friday after work we would go together to the comic book store and buy a shitload of comics. One time,
nice.
We forgot to go a couple of times, and I remember the guy pulled the pile that Jérôme put aside, and I swear to God, it was that freaking tall.
And then the guy said, "Hold on."
Yeah.
Here's the other one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was great. We during that time we bought comics all the time. You know, it was during that big Ultimate time. Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men was that great time in comics. You know, Bendis was. I think it was during the point when Bendis was writing Daredevil. You know, all comics. That point in time in comics was so awesome. The stories were so good.
Yeah.
You know? And
I experienced all that late. I'm like really jealous right now I'm jealous and not, because I didn't have to wait month to month to like read Ultimate Spider-Man, right? Like I got to just chew that shit up and then cry my eyes out at the end and the funeral before Miles and stuff but you know, I came late to all that. Like that was when I found, I didn't even realize I liked Daredevil till a couple of years ago, and I went from Miller to Brubaker and then to Bendis, so I kind of read that whole deal back, like I read it backwards kind of, but yeah, like I couldn't imagine like picking those up on a Wednesday. That's crazy. That was a magical time.
Did you ever read the Nocenti run? The Nocenti and JR.
Not all of it, not all of it, but I think
that's my favorite run so far. I love all the other runs in the series, but that run was special to me.
Yeah, I thought that was cool just because, first of all, like, who would be like oh, Frank Miller's done with Daredevil. Who wants to go next? Like, nope. Like, I'm not following that shit. No. And then like of all people, like Annie Nocenti, right? She's like, fuck it, I'll do it. You know, and then like and then all of a sudden, like all these, you know, like Mary and all this crazy stuff that's like still in Daredevil like now, and how current it is, and how like dealing with like addiction and the crisis of faith and the relationship stuff, and how like I remember like all this stuff in comics that people didn't talk about a lot, and she was like, we're talking about it. And also still full of like great action, you know, like court drama, you know, women drama, Catholic drama, like all the shit that we love Daredevil for. Like she put all that in there and then some. Yeah, she's special. She's very. I got to talk to her a few months ago. It was cool, man. She was yeah. I was kind of nervous, but I was like, because she wanted to talk about Storm and her new Marvel stuff, and I was like, okay, but like we can talk about Daredevil a little bit. She's like, we can talk about Daredevil, like it's fine. And I was like, whew. But yeah, no, I haven't finished it, but I have, because they finally have all the Epic collections out, and so I have the 4 Epic collections, and I'm pretty sure now that I have all 4 of those, there's going to be a great omnibus that's beautiful that gets announced in a month, and I'll be like, you know, that's usually how it goes.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But I haven't read those. I think I need to pick those up.
She's good. She's really good, and it's cool. She's still writing. And then like I remember like Seeds, like her and David Aja wrote Seeds. That comic like changed the way I thought about a lot of shit. And that was cool. So yeah, she's awesome, and her Daredevil run is very, very cool. What did you guys going back to this book that you guys made that we were supposed to be talking about? But what you guys kind of mentioned some zombie and like where you got inspiration from, like zombies and like, you know, Romero and the greats, but like the sword and sorcery part, like Etienne, you mentioned like you love like the night movies, right? What's the one with Richard Gere and Sean Connery? The Lancelot? First, yeah. That was a good one. That was a good one. And then there's been but like what are your guys is like? Do you watch like movies to find inspiration when you're doing comics?
A lot. You know, it won't be. You know, the structure of a comic is sometimes similar to a movie. So by watching a lot of movies, you kind of find a structure that you like.
Okay.
And you find that vibe that you want to come out.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a great one for like, you know, settings, and it's Willow, the original Willow. The set design in that movie is incredible. Just the armor of Val Kilmer in that movie is such a great sort of inspiration. And the design, the story, the music in that, it's incredible. At the end, you know, the end of that movie is pretty much an horror movie when you watch it for the first time. So, you know, those kind of old school medieval movies, they are, for me, were a great source of inspiration. And you know, the Dragonheart, also
Dragon Slayer. That's another
Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer was a huge influence. You know, and the old Excalibur movie with all those lens flare bouncing off armor and stuff. You know, Patrick Stewart, Liam Neeson, and those in that movie. When they started acting. You know, for me, that's a big part of my childhood, and you know, old zombie movie. And I say also recent movies like with zombie, not 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later. Those are awesome zombie movies.
Yeah,
you know,
rumored to be a third one on the horizon.
Later,
28 years later.
Yeah, something like I remember seeing those movies. Do you guys remember the first time you saw a fast zombie and how like uncomfortable that made you feel? It made me feel I was like, I don't like this. I don't like the thought of this rabid dog undead fucking beast being able to like run through like a wooden door or like jump through a window or jump over a fence. Like you are meat and it's going to get to you. Right. And like, I remember seeing that, and when they could move fast and how much more like terrifying that would make it, you know. And are your guys' zombies, like, if when you think of them, are they like the shambling zombie that, like, they take their time to get to you because they're going to get to you eventually? Or
I like the
like,
slow zombie.
you do? You like this? You like
Another
the
one
crawlers?
here,
The
the
hordes.
classic.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the fast zombies are really in your face. You know, I mean, it really lends itself well to action, but the slow zombie, I think, builds suspense. You know, getting
Exactly.
closer and closer and closer,
Okay.
and you trying to do anything you can to get away from it or hide from it or whatever.
Like that kind of Michael Myers tension where
Yeah.
he's never running,
Yeah,
but he's
I was-
always
yeah.
behind you.
It's always there.
I was thinking about Jason Voorhees, but yeah, that's
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
about. It was
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. Yeah,
Okay.
he never runs, but he's always ahead of you somehow.
Yeah.
There's a time frame there's a time lapse that it doesn't work, but it works in these movies.
If you don't think about it too hard, it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
Like
don't
I
have-
watched.
So is
Jason
life,
Statham
Kurt.
happening.
Just I live my life by that. Just don't think about it too hard.
overthink it.
Everything will be great.
cool shit are going away really fast, and bad shit are going very slow when they're gonna get to you. They're gonna mess you hard.
Yes, they are.
What about Kurt, Jerome? What do you guys think? What about night movies for you guys? This is almost just for me because now I kind of want to watch some night movies. So I need some recommendations. Did you guys do any sword and sorcery rewatching or series or cartoons or something while you were looking for inspiration?
I'm bad at these type of questions, but I watch a bunch, but
What was your inspiration for All Day Spirit?
That happened actually while I was working on Cthulhu Invades Oz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was putting the book together, and during the holiday break, and I was working and said, "Hey, horror holidays, that's a cool idea." That's just it. And the weird thing is that I get bored very quickly when I work on something. So comic books, you do one, okay, let's go with the next one. But the longer,
Especially
book,
anthologies, you can have a lot of different stories in there.
yeah, but when you do all the stories in the anthology, you're on it for a very long time.
Yeah.
And that book, I mean, and Travis and I, we love doing these books, and it's very it's a fun thing to do, but they do take a lot of time. And at some point, it's like, are we gonna put an end to that book? Are we gonna send it to print? That's the most satisfying thing when you do a book and you send it to print. Okay, in a few weeks, I'm gonna have something physical in my hand that I did. That's part of the joy of doing this. So, and
but also kind of nerve wracking because you're like,
yeah,
is there anything in there that I didn't fix or that I didn't
yeah,
do right?
I might fucking this up
but
really
I can't wait
bad.
to hold it in my hands, good or bad.
Are all the pages going to be in the right order or whatever?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was like, even though I was trying to finish that book and send it to print, and there's always done many things I wanted to get done, but at the same time I was like, oh, a new anthology, that could be cool.
More work. Come
on.
It's not done, but yeah, maybe a new one could be fun. And so so it happens that we're doing 2 anthologies now in the same year.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
you guys are
like,
ramping up production over there.
and
I was about to say,
It's
I
like
know
Cthulhu.
Jerome's a badass because he was like, I was doing one anthology, then I was like, I should probably do another one. And like, who does that? Who said, like,
at the same time.
I remember even
should do lettering,
Eric Palicki
Assassin's
told me,
Creed.
he was like, I love doing these. I love editing these, but like never again. I'm not, he was like, every time I do one, I'm like, don't do this again. It's too much work. It's too much, it's too much time. And he's like, I don't have the time. And so like I don't know if a lot of you listening, I'm sure a lot of the creators listening realize it, but just like consumers, viewers, like, average nerds, like how much curating and responsibility and like organizing and it's like team leading and just like herding fucking ants that don't know left from right. No offense, creators, but it's hard. It's like there's so many things, so much can go wrong. So many people have to commit to deadlines. It's crazy.
And the thing is with all these spirits is that I'm not an editor. And I will never be. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to. I may come up with an idea for a story, but that's not what I do. So that's not my. That's not where I'm good at. So I just put out the idea. I'm gonna do this book, and I just send messages to people I know or people I want to know and to work with. I said, I have this book. Do you want to be in it? And they messaged me, yeah, cool. And do you want to approve the story? No, it's your story. You do it. So, but it's not the best way to do it, I'm sure. And but I'm just here to have fun and put a good.
But it is nice to have that freedom, to have the freedom to just kind of do what you want to do. And if you like it, fine. If not, then maybe next time. Yeah,
and at the end of the month, it's just like a couple of pages, and you have fun. You have fun doing it. You have fun reading it. If not, there's another one story right after. So there's not a big deal. I mean, if I think overall the book stands on its own, and it's a cool book and it's cool fun to read. But
it's very cool. And you're working on volume 3 right now.
I don't want to put any pressure on anyone on that. So my job basically is to contact people, get the great talents in the book, and I mean that's the thing. I try to get the best people that I know to get in it. So of course they're gonna come up with great stories, and my thing is just to make sure that they all deliver in time.
It's like what Etienne said. Jérôme is like the center of a lot of different things. Cthulhu with
a great example of that is
holiday spirits, all that stuff. He's like right at the middle of a lot of intersecting people and ideas.
A great example of what you said, Kurt, is like when you go each other to a con, we take a table, Jérôme and I, we split it in half. And you can see in my half, it's the kingdom. And you check Jérôme half of the table, it's like 25 different
that big orange cone library that keeps expanding.
Like my size of the table, his size of the table.
Yeah, but the thing is, most Etienne is selling probably more than I do, because he's the writer, is the artist on his book, and basically I'm a letterer. So when you say to people, I'm lettering these books, okay. So basically, what do you do? I need to explain it to each.
You should say I'm a producer.
Okay. So you just you write it? No. I put the words and the balloons and everything.
Yeah.
It's like that question. So you're the writer, so you put all the words in the bubbles, right? And they're like,
no, that's not that. That's someone else. And I need to explain it. It makes it very, very tough job to explain everything. And basically, I sometimes I just feel like I'm selling other people's book. So, but it's a lot of work. But with weird ideas like, I mean, Cthulhu is an eye catcher, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's on his banner. He has a huge zombie from that kingdom. So people see, zombie, axe, arrow, whatever, and it says, okay, what's about that guy? So and the pitch, most of the time, people are already sold in. So and when they see on my end, it's when they see Cthulhu or Krampus on the holidays, all these spirits. But
it's like what we were talking about earlier with breathing new life into the zombie genre. If you look at Cthulhu, everybody was doing Cthulhu. Everybody was doing Cthulhu anthologies. But Travis Gibb and Heather Gibb and Jérôme came up with this idea. What about Cthulhu invading all these fictional locations, like Oz, Wonderland, Neverland, all that stuff.
And then the overarching story and connectivity. And
Yeah, it's like
Everything
that
else,
breathes
yeah.
new life into that genre. Into
Yeah,
Cthulhu, you know?
and actually, I heard Travis on one of his live the other day. He was talking about the Cthulhu mythos, Cthulhu genre, and like you said earlier, like the zombies are quite dead, but Etienne's take on them is fresh one, and that's exactly what Travis said about Cthulhu. He said, I think Cthulhu is dead, but fortunately for us, our take is different, so it
Yeah.
will bring back different
Mhm.
crowds to these books, and that's what makes it fresh every time. So
And you have so many talents, so many different artists and writers. You know, every
Mhm.
short story is fresh, is different. It could be its own series. You know, that's what's so refreshing about reading one of those books is you can't get bored. It's different each time you turn a page, or oh, there's pretty sure there's going to be a short story in it for your taste, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the same with Holiday Spirits. You know, it
yeah,
can be
exactly.
serious, it can be horrific, it can be dramatic, it can be funny, it can be all these different things all in one book. And if you read long enough, you're going to find something that sort of speaks
Yeah.
directly to you.
That's what's cool about anthologies. You can find something. That's
Yeah.
all, like just crowdfunding, Kickstarter as a whole. That's one of the best things about that is there's an itch for everybody to scratch. You just got to look for it, right? Or a scratch for every itch. I don't know. Don't go around itching people's scratches and saying Blake told you to do it, because that's not what I meant. But but Jerome, you mentioned like the freedom, and you know, like a lot of like the pressures and stuff that come from Holiday Spirits and Cthulhu and the stuff that you guys do. The plus side of that is the creative freedom that you get, right? And if you want to go weird, or you want to do something off the wall, not many, you know, maybe Travis would be like, I don't know, man, that may not be a good idea, but if you really think you need to do it. And, or maybe you I don't know how you guys actually work together, but I feel like everybody's
I've
pretty
some
open.
bad ideas to Travis, that's for sure.
But you know, that freedom, you lose some of that or I know you lose a little bit of it, like when you go through a publisher, there are things, you know, where you may not be allowed to do or allowed to say, or, you know, editorial may have something to say about it or whatnot. Not as much with a creator-owned property, right? But what is that like, going from like being in control of your own projects and destiny kind of to then like releasing this under like the Red 5 wing? Like, you know, is it kind of, is the transition easy? Is it nice working for a publisher? Do you miss the total control? Red 5's great. I know, like, no one's like no one gets beaten with a whip if the deadlines are missed. We know.
I'm not sure exactly about that freedom. I think we were pretty free to do what we wanted, but that's more Etienne that can answer, because he's the one he's the poll for that book. He's the one in contact with them.
The only note I ever got from my book was about the F word to edit. That's pretty much it. That's all I had to do.
Cool.
And I had to re-edit a bit because at first I was supposed to do Dead Kingdom as a Kickstarter at first. And it was supposed to be like volume 1 was supposed to be like, I think, 36 pages about.
Okay.
And I already started working on volume 2, which is now volume 1 in a way. So the thing is, they said is like, can you read it, the first 2 volumes for like 5 issues of 22 pages? And I was like, oh God, I hope so. And and magically it all fit pretty well. All I had to do, I had to take maybe 2-3 pages out and do about 5 new pages. But what was so great about those 5 new pages was like it helped the story more. You know, I could, you know, stretch more dialogue and it more more story. So it pretty much was like, it was a good thing for me. But you know, when they read the story, when they read the first volume, was pretty much complete at that time. All they said like, okay, there's a couple of F word, can we, you know, take them out? And I was like, okay, no problem with that. And, well, I think it was like 3 F word in all 2 the you know, the first volume. So, you know, aside from that, I never heard some complaint that they liked what we did, and you know, like I said, I couldn't be happier with. I could be well. I would be happier if the book would come out soon.
Yeah.
That I would be very happy about it. But it's only a matter of time. It should come out pretty soon. So, but I got very lucky to find a distributor like Red Flag Comics
Cool.
with 4 of my first series. I was, and I am still pretty much an unknown in a way. So I felt I am very lucky, and I know that.
Well, that's cool, man.
So
I'm
basically,
glad they treat you guys
good
well.
so basically they're good with the face peeling, but no effort.
That's what I was thinking, Jerome. I was like, okay,
You
2
know,
fucks, plenty of faces.
face peeling is pretty much cliche.
Keep peeling the faces, but don't fuck with them.
No.
I'm glad they're not. I don't have people in charge of Blake's Buzz like that. It'd be a weird place. Like, like just let me say fuck. I don't want to do the other thing. We can't do that. I'm pretty sure YouTube will get mad at us.
At some
We
point,
definitely can't monetize if we start.
Someone's gonna buy you and say, "Okay, I'm gonna buy you. I'm gonna buy Blake Buzz. You stop using the safe word F word, and please remove it from the past episodes."
And remember, Blake, we're French Canadian. We don't swear. We say sorry all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just glad Jerome fixed that because he was like, someone's gonna buy Blake's Buzz and be like, all right, you're not allowed to say the safe word anymore. Like, whoa, dude. Like, when I say pineapple, the fun stops. And it stops now.
We're just gonna talk about poutine all the time. That's it. Poutine and maple syrup. That's all we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about.
Hey, you guys know I like the food. I still want to try the poutine. I like cheese curds, I like fries, I like gravy. I like everything going
you can
on.
make your own.
Yeah, I need to. There's this farm, this chateau farm in Missouri. They make great milk. Like some of the best. Oh my god, the craziest chocolate milk ever. Is ridiculous. It's so good. And they used to have these cheese curds at the store, and they were awesome. And I know I didn't, when I got them, I didn't know about poutine, right? And now that I've been like, okay, I've been looking for them, and I'm like, the next time I see them, because I don't want to get like cheap cheese curds, right? If I want to make it, I want to go. That's you. There's only a few ingredients, so you have to get good ingredients, right? That's why it works.
That's the secret. You need to have the freshest cheese curds as possible.
Okay.
And I don't know about the store, the place that you just talked about, but when some grocery stores over here, when they have it fresh from the morning, they just leave them room temp at the grocery store.
That's
and those are the
good.
best ones. Those are the best ones because they're still like wet from the milk from the and.
So they like melt real easy too with the gravy, right? Or is that part of it?
Yeah,
too?
it melts better. Yeah.
Okay.
And Kurt and Blake, don't forget fries, cheese, gravy, more fries, cheese. And
Yeah, layer it up.
you have to layer it up
Like
because
a lasagna.
each bite must be magical.
I'm fucking hungry now, guys. I'm fucking hungry. You woke up. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Patrick Mahomes or the Kansas City Chiefs, but you woke up the wrong motherfucker, which is my stomach.
What I'll do, Blake, you'll send me your address, and I will send you some pouches of powder when you can make your own gravy just for poutine.
I was actually thinking about
What?
this.
I will send you. Will give me your address, and I will send you the best, cheapest poutine sauce you can make, and it's the
Which
best.
one? Which
the
one?
cheapest is the best. I will send that for you. So get ready because, and when I want you to film it when you'll do your first poutine.
I will. It'll be like the weenie Oli, but Blake's Buzz goes poutine. Maybe I can get Cole to come back and do another show. We can do a poutine episode. I'll let him fucking talk about his frisbees for a little bit, and then we'll talk about a comic and eat poutines.
You've created the perfect meal. It's going to be poutine and weenie Olis.
Yeah.
You know,
Poutine and weenie Olis meal.
Don't forget
what's
the beer.
his
The
name
beer with
again?
the
He was
poutine is the best.
Okay.
Cole was one of the burrito guys, right?
Yeah.
What's the other one? What's his name?
Nick and Todd. Todd does the show with Travis.
Yeah, that's Nick. I'm thinking about. I saw him post like a year ago a picture of poutine he made by himself. I just add in the comment. There's not a lot of gravy there. He said, "No, you don't need too much." I said, "No, you need way more, dude."
Yeah, you always need. Okay, yeah, that's
Don't be cheap.
Sink them in.
even I know that because like I don't live in I live in the Midwest, so I'm very middle of the map, middle of America, right? But Kansas City is like this tiny little liberal speck in the midst of the Bible Belt, so it's kind of a cool place to be. We're actually having there's like a creator resurgence, like it's very cheap to live here, so like artists and people like come live here and get apartments and shit, and like there's a cool art scene and shit. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Never mind. That was cool.
Poutine.
Yeah. Oh, gravy. Shit.
Gravy.
This is why if I ever was like on a podcast by myself, I'd be fucked. I'd be like, chat, help me. What was I talking about? No. So even from here, like it's kind of a Southern thing, but my family like carried it up a little bit to the Midwest. But we do biscuits and gravy a lot, like sausage, gravy, and biscuits. But like, you fucking dump gravy on everything. Like you go extra gravy. You always go extra gravy. Like there's nothing worse than like a fucking dry biscuit being out of gravy. Like that'll turn a great breakfast into the worst fucking day of your life real quick if there's not enough gravy. So I would just assume that like the gravy rule applies to poutine.
I need to try that gravy and biscuits. That's something else. That's a very much different gravy.
It's totally different. Like a creamy sausage gravy.
The poutine is different. It's more like brown, more liquid sauce.
Yeah.
And that
more like a turkey, like a turkey type of gravy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's between it's kind of different than hot chicken gravy.
Kurt's out here. Kurt's like, I'm getting a fucking sandwich.
I'm getting some gravy right
now.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm just gonna get a bucket of gravy. I got some KFC in the fridge. Yeah, like a KFC to go deal. That'd be amazing.
Is there something that I'm missing? I miss you seeing your burgers pictures on.
I know I haven't been
been cooking a lot.
I haven't. No, blame my new fucking day job, which I adore, but it's just a lot. Like as soon as the show ends tonight, I gotta hop over and we're there. I'm seeing the Discord chat go off. Like we got to finish building the Kickstarter page for launch tomorrow. So it's just like I love it. It's cool, but it's just like I do a lot more takeout, which is dumb because I would save so much more. I need to start cooking more. I do miss it.
Seeing those burgers that you've put out and those sandwiches, I'm sure that they're way much better than
they're way than what I could order. Yeah, and cheaper. Like you could spend like that same money and go to the store, and I need to get back to it. I do miss it. I haven't had a real good burger in a while. Like
you should do a podcast while you're cooking.
Yeah, everybody tells me so the one time I tried to film myself cooking, I tried to film myself flipping an omelet one time, right?
Not good. That's not a great idea.
No, because I'm pretty good at flipping an omelet now. Like I got real good like egg folding and stuff for like breakfast sandwiches, which like translates really well into omelet folding. And so like I got pretty good at flipping. And so I was like trying to like film making an omelet, right? And I was gonna put the phone on the tripod when I flipped it, but I was like, I was showing like I was like, here's about the time when you flip it, and I very almost dropped the phone into the skillet, and I was like, all right, you need someone to like film for you, but then like tell your friends and family like, hey, you want to come like film me cook some food for a podcast for free? No one's in a hurry to do that, They're
No.
Blake's like, you don't get any of the food. You just have to.
No, they would totally get the food. But no, I do want to do that. That's just like that's another level of like production. I almost talked to my sister about it because my sister and I say outlandish shit when we get around each other, we'd probably be canceled. We'd probably be bad. We'd probably do a show and then like she'd get me canceled and then like Blake's Buzz would be no more. But no, it wouldn't be that bad. But we have our father and mother's mouths, and my dad's Irish and my mom's Italian, and both of them get real angry and say terrible things. And we got both of that. And so like when we get in the kitchen, you know, we fuck around and have a good time. And so she's been interested in starting a podcast. She's like, she wants to do like true crime and shit. Right. And then would probably like get rich. Right. Like I'd be like, yeah, I'll teach you how to podcast. And then she's like, murderers. And people are like, that's way cooler than comics. Anyway. But I was like, man, it'd be cool to like get her involved in it. That might be fun. But yeah, anytime I have like a co-host, they leave. And if my little sister left, it'd be sad. Talking about you, Cole.
Okay, this is getting awkward.
Yeah, sorry. No,
but am I wrong? I think you've worked in a restaurant, right?
Oh yeah.
You have a restaurant background, yeah.
Yeah. Not much cooking, more drinking and occasionally getting punched in the face and
okay.
And I'm pretty good at cleaning up glass and vomit. And I did like we would cook. Well, that's why I got in trouble for cooking after, because I saw my boss do it one time. So like I got drunk and went and made a cheeseburger after work, and they were like, "You didn't pay for that," and I was like, oh. Anyway, but like when the boss does it and makes like 4 cheeseburgers for everybody, and you're just like, oh, I thought we could just eat the leftover cheeseburgers. I don't know. Apparently not. You don't eat the leftover cheeseburgers at the restaurant, guys. You get in trouble.
Noted.
Even when they're like there,
especially,
you know,
you don't work there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So don't, especially when you're like, I read about this bar online and said I had good cheeseburgers. You just walk back into the kitchen and start making a cheeseburger. That's not a good idea.
No.
Which, by the way, I've seen that happen before. Like drunk college kids on Thanksgiving used to get crazy, and this kid like walked back to the kitchen. He was like, "I need some food." We were like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And I had to grab this kid and drag him out of the kitchen, like kicking and screaming, like I was dragging him out of his own fucking house. It's like, that's fucking kitchen, man. And then anyway. That's what I did at the bar, Jerome. I took out the trash in more than one.
Okay.
All kinds of trash.
Yeah, all kinds of trash. Bunch of fucking 20-year-old trash. Like, God. So I used to have stacks of fake IDs. I used to train other bartenders and bouncers around Kansas City how to pull fake IDs. Like we used to nerd out on it because back in the day we used to be able to turn them in. They'd give us cash for them, or they'd give us bar credit. So like if you pull all these fake IDs and then like they'll be, oh, we could drink on a Saturday night for free, right? And it was like the bar still made its money, and then it gave us incentive, and then because there was a lot of nights there are a lot of like very pretty people, or like even not pretty people would offer you money, and it was like, but also like to do that and risk getting fined like $1,000 too, like would because the bar is not going to hire a lawyer to get that fine taken away from so there was like, but anyways, yeah, we used to be able to cash the IDs in, and then the bar sold, new owners bought it, and they were like, yeah, we're not doing that. So like, you still work just as hard, but we're not going to reward you at all.
So basically you're a criminal.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, man. Well, guys, I've kept you for an hour and a half. And I know it's starting to get downhill because people will laugh in the chat. They're like, "Oh, Blake's telling bar stories." By the way, I'm not drinking. We just have been. It just went there. It just always ends up there. I blame the poutine. The poutine got me excited thinking about the old days. But yeah, it's. I'm very, very happy for all of you. This book that you're working on is amazing. It's fun. I did get to catch up on it recently. Thank you guys for sharing those with me. And the new issues just as good as that first issue. You guys have kept that vibe, that tension. Everything is just as good as how it started, and that's cool. Like, it's so hard to do, and that's very, very cool that you guys are pulling that off. So very, very excited for these new issues coming out. I'm sorry about the delay. If it does make you feel any better, it's happening to everybody at numerous outlets.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a shit bummer right now, but yeah, it's it's a cool book. Everybody, like, I really encourage you to feel like pick up the trade if you haven't yet. You can get volume 1 right now. You're getting caught up's easy. You can have your shops order it. You can buy it from bookstores. So like, hunt it down. It's worth
Because
reading.
you got like another week until the next issue comes out.
Yeah,
So
you got plenty of time.
Caught up in the meantime.
Yeah, you can still pre-order it on pretty much all stores, and Amazon. You can. There's a lot of stores where you can pre-order it for volume 1, and first issue of volume 2 should be also available pretty soon in comic book store near your place. And for the story, the best is yet to come.
There we go. All right, because I am the polite host, and why everybody loves me. I know that it's so hard, the pressure. But I want to go around. If you guys got newsletters, projects, anything web stores, anything we can shout out. I want to make sure everybody knows where to find you, and best like social media places. Kurt, you want to start us off?
I'm Belcher Kurt on Instagram. I'm Kurt.Belcher on Blue Sky and Twitter, I think, and just Kurt Belcher, one word, on Facebook. I also have a Patreon if you want to go there and check that out.
Give them your money.
Yeah. I also wanted to, if I could, pimp a Kickstarter called Warhawk and Magni. It's by Jay Hewer and Ben Ferrari at Pilot Studios. They put together this book about a bunch of Nazi punching heroes. It's kind of spun out of Always Punch Nazis. I don't know if you remember those anthologies.
Yeah.
Kind of spun out of that. So
say that
that's
title
going on
more
right
time,
now.
please,
So
Kurt?
go and check that out.
What was that title? That title one more time?
Warhawk and Magni.
Warhawk and Magni. What's
Kickstarter?
I know you probably can't talk much about it, but you still working on something with Mr. Brian Level?
I am. I'm working on a book with him right now. I'm almost
finished.
Issue
I've
2.
seen some of it.
That's
cool.
Be fun, right?
Yeah.
Has he shown you some of the pages of that?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, that's looks fun, right?
We had a meeting it's very cool. I'm excited for it. It looks I've seen some of the covers in the newspaper stuff. Oh my god, yeah. Anyways,
Riley Ross on one of the covers. Oh man,
crazy. Yeah, you guys need to keep an eye on Kurt. He's got some cool shit going down.
Okay, cool.
By the way, putting this link in the chat, which will show up in the comments everywhere. You guys can click on it. This is that Warhawk and Magni book Kurt was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else, Kurt?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, it's all I can think of at the moment.
Very cool. Yeah, everybody should go follow him. Check out his Patreon. Go sniff around.
It'd be fun for me and Brian to come on and talk about that book.
I'm down.
Closer to what we're going to do with it.
Yeah. Always, you're very. I usually, you're making me go faster, Kurt. I always say this at the end. I was going to tell everybody they were welcome back, but now, no, you guys have all been great. Always welcome. Jerome, you've been on before, but like you guys are always welcome back. But yeah, we'll talk, Kurt. Etienne, what's you like? Website, newsletter, secret places, whisper networks, underground places,
Fight Club.
Yeah, fight clubs.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, you can check for the comic. You can check pretty much on website if you want to pre-order the Kingdom Volume 1 and Volume 2 Issue 1. You can check out the Red 5 comic website. And for myself, I'm under Etienne_D1979 on Instagram. Yeah, that's a great name. Yeah. And that's pretty much it for me. I'm very subtle for those kind of things.
Subtle's good. Hey man, just stay subtle and keep dropping the fucking hits. I'll allow it. You just no pressure.
Stay humble.
Yeah,
I will.
And last but not least, Mr. Jerome, do you guys have any active Kickstarters or pre-launch pages you want to? We can post a link.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do
You
actually.
have maybe 7 or 8
We have.
now?
Sorry, what?
7 or 8?
Jerome's
just-
probably got 7 or 8 Kickstarters out there. Just
Yeah.
waiting. Start. He's like, yeah, maybe we can toss those off.
We're gonna be here a minute, guys.
My agent will contact you and talk about it.
I wish. I wish it was there. I mean, that would be.
It'd be like a stack
huge
of
step up.
comics. It'd be like a stack of Kickstarters that he's going to send.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, we're preparing the page is ready. We're on pre-launch for Voodoo Nations issue 4.
Okay.
So the pages we're trying to we're close. We're getting closer to 100 followers. So
Oh, yeah.
it would be nice if people can click that following button. So yeah, so that's issue 1 through 4 that you can get over there. It was supposed to be a 4-issue miniseries, but actually along the way we decided to expand it to 5. So then so there's going to be one more later this year, maybe, not sure,
Okay.
or next year, not sure again. But yeah, we have that one. There's also coming soon from Ben of Bards. We have Coins of Judas, issue 3.
Direct market, or you guys crowdfunding that?
Direct market.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one, we have a new artist for that, because with each miniseries we're changing the artist.
Nice.
So that's part of the plan. So we're kicking off there. The way that this series built, it's built in 2-issue miniseries. So we got two issues, then you move on to another miniseries with another 2 issues, and then 2 more.
Okay.
And I don't know how much we have planned on doing, but there's a lot coming up.
Wow.
So, but we did. It's supposed to be in direct market in March, but we printed a few for exclusive for MegaCon. But you can order them through. There's 25 availables on arrangeconeproductions.com and 25 available on benofbars.com as well.
Very cool. By the way, both of those websites I've purchased from. They ship well. They're safe websites. OrangeConeProductions.com, Band of Bards, or you can go to bandofbards.com and then get to the shop. But they're both, and Band of Bards does a lot of sales too. If you kind of keep an eye on, they do a lot of specials and stuff. What's up, Judah? Thanks for tuning in, bud. Good to see you.
And
All right, so that's 2.
Last
Did
but
you get
not
third?
least, I have coming up very soon. I think we're closing in on the FOCs. It's Assassin's Creed second issue.
Yeah.
So that's Assassin's Creed Visionaries. This one is Assassin's Creed Visionaries. The subtitles is On Civil War.
Is that IDW or Dark Horse?
None of them.
Either. Nice. Took a bet on that one. Cool.
That's
Awesome.
actually from Lunac Studio, but they're distributed by or it's like I don't know how it works.
Okay.
But Lunac Studio and Massive Publishing.
Oh, Massive, dope, dude. Massive, like, dude, that having your name on a Massive book is not going to do anything bad for you. I'm pretty sure. Like, that's exciting, man. That's dope, dude. Cool.
Yeah, and everybody that knows him is like, wow, we know somebody that works on an Assassin's Creed book.
Yeah. You know who
I'm
else
blown.
started on those? The Dan Waters. Dan Waters wrote some Assassin's Creed stuff. A couple of the other Vault boys did. They did. Some of those guys started off doing some video game properties before they got their big indie Vault titles. But I remember Dan Waters was one that did Assassin's Creed. I noticed that and I was like, what? So that's cool, man.
Yeah, that one was supposed to be a big book, a big Kickstarter last year, but they had some problems and they had to cancel the Kickstarter. But it's all short stories, like 10, 12 page stories, and they decide to publish it through direct market and floppies. So.
Nice. That's
You're
awesome,
also
man.
working on
Yeah, and I
more,
got to play with with
You're also working on more Holiday Spirits and Cthulhu Invades as well, right? That's more of that is in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about to really switch up Cthulhu.
Mhm.
Like
And he's
really
also
switch up the
working on
format
the
and
source
stuff.
of
I thought
energy.
doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna flip the tables over at Orange Cones. It's exciting. You guys are making moves.
No, we have many projects. I mean, the amount of projects that we if everything goes according to plans with Orange Cone this year, we should have like pretty much a new campaign each month.
Wow.
So, and at that we have direct markets, and because Granite State Punk is going to release to the direct market later this spring as well, and we have a fourth one coming up. So yeah, we have lots of books, lots of cool books. We have fun.
Yeah, keeping busy in indie comics. It's good. It's great to see, honestly. But yeah, guys, it's been great. It's been great. Jerome, it's been great catching up. Kurt, we've talked online a bit and stuff. It was cool to have you on the show, man. Again,
hey, thanks for giving me a shout out this morning with that Martian Manhunter.
Oh yeah, man, no problem. Yeah. Dude,
I was like, Blake Morgan knows my what?
Yeah, you didn't even know, man. I've known about you for a while, Kurt. I've been watching you, sir.
Like, been watching you.
Yeah. But honestly, like everybody, for real, you got to check out this book. It's fun, it's violent, and it's just good. It's just a good comic book, and you won't be disappointed. For panel to panel, it'll keep you on your toes, and they give you a reason to keep coming back. So keep an eye if you're waiting.
Firing on all cylinders with this book.
Yeah, all you guys, I think, and it sounds like you're firing off on a lot of other projects too, keeping buns in the oven, keeping things going. So, as always, like I really appreciate you guys taking your time to come on. This was exciting. When I told Etienne, I was like, you want to come on the show? And he was like, I'm bringing everybody. I was like, oh hell yeah, let's go. Like, so it's been I took a couple weeks off and it's been kind of slow, and I've been missing it. So like this was nice catching up. It was a nice comfy chat. It's been I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get back on the mic. I missed it. It's fun. Hopefully I wasn't too rusty or weird or lame. I know
it was a lot of fun.
I know I'm not word balloon, but we try here, Word balloon is cool. I love that show. Just kidding. They're awesome. But yeah, anyways, everybody go follow these guys. Check out the newsletters, the Patreons, the books. There's some cool stuff coming. If you take out a loan so you can buy all the books that Jerome's working on, I mean, that's just impressive.
Stack of comics, I'm telling you.
He's got stack. He's
like Jerome was buying that stack. Now everybody else is buying that stack.
Yeah, now he's making that stack.
I hope so.
Everybody who watched and is still watching, thank you so much. Everybody who watches it later, check out those links. They're in there for a reason. You can click them, check out these upcoming campaigns, check out the stuff we showed off, and check out the live campaigns we shouted out tonight, please. And remember, Metal Ninja Studios, Dust County Chronicles, the anniversary edition is going live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to be up all night fucking with that Kickstarter page. Least you can do is follow it. I'm just kidding. I love you all. I stole that from Travis Gibb because he yells at people on his creator chats, and I love it. And
those the creator hangouts. He's like, I hate to threaten you guys, but I'm gonna have to threaten you guys. You got to go support this stuff. But
somebody put a fucking $1 in there. Like, I love it. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. We'll be back. I'll be back next week. I got some cool guests for next week too. We'll announce them shortly. Everybody that was here tonight, really appreciate all of you, and hopefully you guys will come back soon. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.